Hello, everyone, or few people, or whatever. Um, just a catch up, really. Nothing special to talk about. I was speaking to my sister in Oklahoma today, over 2 hours. We spoke, checking up on me to see if I was okay and that. But I was thinking, Forrest said he's had a few lemons. And I was thinking, yeah, when life gives you lemons, what do you do? Do you, the usual make lemonade? But everyone's different. And, just making lemonade might be all right for one person, but you could make cupcakes and pancakes and brown orchard, make cleaners. Hi, NFJ, how you doing? Quick. You could do all sorts of things. So in life, you just try and make the best out of, bad situations, I suppose. And different people have a different way of coping with that. So I suppose the statement is, life's never that bad. As bad as it is, some in some way, shape, or form, you need to, try to find the positive in the negative that occurs. And I was talking to my sister, and I said, life is a train ride. We get on when we're born, and it doesn't stop, until the end of our journey. And along that journey, people get on the train and people get off the train, and the train keeps going. It doesn't care, that you lose good people out of your life or that bad people come into your life. It just keeps going, and you have to try and enjoy the ride for what it is until you get to your destination. Hey, Redneck, how you doing? So I haven't really got much chase chat to talk about because, to be fair, whilst I believe there's shed loads going on, people aren't really talking about it. I was going to do something with regard, well, I'll probably touch on it. In the poem, it says, Forrest is John Collins Black, and he wrote a new treasure hunting book titled, and I've left that blank, but it could say something like, Mario Go to Blazes, or Trusty Go to Blazes, or Troy Going to Blazes. But it probably has a better, hey, how you doing, Greg? Hi, Amy, how you doing? Oh, John Travolta came in as well. Oh, Truth 2? Why 2? Why are you the Brutal Truth 2? Is this a new Greg? I thought we already had the new Greg. Totally, totally lost what I was thinking about now, seeing that. Not only the surprise, but the fact that it's 2. Is this part of the chase 2? Is this the John Collins Black era? I believe that, Forrest did something I don't know how he thought of it. Any of it. Or did it. I don't know. But, the treasure hunt, if that's all it was, would have been an amazing thing to do. But behind all that, there was something unthinkable, undreamable, unimaginable, however you want to put it. There was something special behind all of that. And, if it's just my imagination, I've got a good imagination, I can tell you that now. But I don't think I could imagine what was imagined, if you see what I mean. I don't think it'd be like, coming up with a script for a blockbuster. I don't think I've got it in me to come up with that script. Somebody else had to write it. Hey, Zozo, how you doing? I believe Charlotte needs it. Could have been worse. Could have been an igloo. Davey B, how you doing? Not long. 5 minutes. That's all. Just in time for you to get up and, get some brew inside you. Yeah, just 5 minutes, not long. Just started. You haven't missed anything. You don't miss anything anyway. I don't say anything worthwhile. So, Forrest imagined something and wondered if he could make it happen. Now, I don't know if he knew beforehand that it was going to happen, or he just wondered if he could make it happen. And I believe, yeah, he's a man of his word. And anybody who thinks that it was just about, a chest in the Rocky Mountains should take time out to, go over all the things that Forrest Fenn said and did. Hey, Nikki. Partly, you prompted this as well, Nikki, with asking the question. I said, had a 2 hour, over a 2 hour conversation with my wife, my sister in Oklahoma. I'll probably have a 2 hour conversation with her as well. She was on about me going out there and stuff and seeing if I was okay. So I suppose that prompted this to say, yeah, I am okay. Who's scared? Rio. Oh, the big Rio. Rio, and he dances on the sand. How the heck are you? I'm good, thanks. And it's nice to be seen, and it's nice to read, good people. All these greetings. I totally lost what. Oh yeah, so yeah, partly, talking about some people like to be left alone, in situations like this, and some people want people around them, and I'm happy with myself. Sometimes I can be alone in a crowded room because I choose to be alone in a crowded room, or I can be, happy in that room with lots of different people and lots of different conversations. But I don't mind being alone. But she warned me of the process of grief and that, which I'm well aware of, and I have enough people around me to sort of make sure that I follow the rules, follow the steps, and get help if I need it. Hey Rob, how you doing? In the chase, I made what I feel are good friends, good people. You might not think that, but I think that you're, good friends and good people, and that's amazing considering I've never met any of you. And obviously, I know Davey pretty well, but through technology, not because I'm able to stay in the same room with him. And there are other people that you just seem to get on with, don't you? You just click. And it's strange because most haven't even seen. Most people haven't even seen, or I may have seen, but they're just under a different name. And that's, Forrest Fenn. He did that. He brought people together from across the world who never been in the same room with each other. That's crazy. I am off grid. Surprised I have service. Been there loads of times. In our early conversations, I'm surprised we ever spoke because, Dave would be sort of out in the middle of nowhere and got reception, and it'd be like, David, you're breaking up. I didn't hear what you said. But we managed to have chats, and then he'd go somewhere where he was on grid, and it'd be great. And then now and again he'd go off grid. It'd be weird. But in all of that, the technology, we're thousands of miles apart, and to have a conversation face to face at times, it's crazy. Yeah, the weather is changing here. I still haven't managed to cut the grass because it keeps raining. So even when you get a little bit of sun, it's too wet to actually cut the grass, and then before you can cut the grass, it rains again. So it's at least there's some sun, but not enough to dry out the rain that's happened. And according to the weather people, we're going to get 5 centimeters of snow an hour. So it ain't going to help my grass cutting much, but we'll see. It's that time of the year when you've got to get out in the garden. Spring will be upon us. And something I found out from my sister today, you've already had your spring forward. She's talking about the time difference and said it'd be 6 o'clock here. I was like, no, it's 5 p.m. She's like, no, it has to be 6 p.m. there. Like, no, it's 5 p.m. And you've obviously had your spring forward, which is slightly earlier than we have ours. So I think ours is this weekend. So you've already jumped an hour in front, and we've got to catch you up, which is quite easy, really, considering the weekend is nearly upon us. And that means me and Davey, are you 8 hours in front now, Davey, or 7 hours in front? Anyway, I'll be catching you, unless, well, you should be going back, so I could catch up 2 hours probably. I don't know how it works. If you go back in the autumn and I go forward, that's 2 hours. You get me forward. Yeah, we spring forward and fall back, the same. They're on about, not doing it, obviously, because farmers, have lights on their tractors and stuff like that, so nothing really stops them now. The night doesn't really stop them. The kids, going to school and that are not going in the dark because the lamp lights and all that. So they're on about stopping it, but they haven't. So we'll see. I don't see the need for it, especially when you lose an hour. I don't mind gaining an hour, but when you lose an hour, it ain't that good. Hi, Glenna. How you doing? Yeah, it ain't that good. I don't like losing an hour. Although I'm not working, so it won't matter that much. Is that me or Davey B? Davey B's down in Australia, so he's hi Luli. He's down way below the equator. I'm up north near where would I be? Probably as high as Montana. Don't know, maybe somewhere around there. Up the top anyway. the cold bit. I'd rather be lower down where, I don't know, Italy or Spain is, but what can you do? He knows who I am. Yeah, David B's lucky. He's well, no, he's yeah. I don't know. I don't like the fact that all those nasty creatures are there, but he lives in a nice part of the world. That is without doubt a lovely part of the world. But could do without all them nasty critters that you people have. I don't get how we don't have them. I don't get how, we don't have these poisonous spiders and poisonous snakes, like you do. The chase is, in my opinion, in our opinion, nearing to, I know, there's a point where a secret has to be kept, or the secrets are kept. And there's a point where things can happen. So my bet is things can happen. Something ends the chase, and I think we're close to the something ending the chase. But again, this unless you've been to the future, this is not a predictable thing. This will happen when it happens, and when it happens, the chase will. Well, I say end. I think it'll explode, into something much bigger. Is David being flying cars yet? Chase is over. Charlotte is selling drugs. the thriller chase won't be over ever. Like I say, life is like a train journey, and once it starts, until your final destination, you go to all them stations, you meet all these people, you lose people, but the train keeps going. I think that's how the chase is going to be. I think once things are known, I do believe that Forrest has given people hope, and that's what you hope out of depression. I know, that could mean a lot of things with regard to the chase, but in the overall context, I think the chase gives people hope, and there will always be. I always wonder this because when they do these adverts, they say eight out of 10 people, such and such. And it always seems to be 8 out of 10 people, or 7.9, or 8.2, but it always seems to be 8 people. So there must be 2 people out of every 10 who are just born to disagree, just not go along with the rest of the society, as it seems. So whilst 8 out of 10 people might get hope, there'll probably be 2 people that refuse to believe it. It's all fading away. That sounds like, I don't know if you remember that advert, or even if you ever had it. Re-record and fade away. What was that for? Those videotapes. Re-record, not fade away. I had a date I saw, and now that is past. I can't find more to hold on to. So I had this conversation with David quite a few times. There are many dates, and I mean, Trusted's doing one now. He's like, I don't know, probably 14 months now he's waiting instead of 16. There are many dates in the chase. There are many instances that Forrest has alluded to or given information to make you believe in. And all of those dates may be possibilities. But it depends on the something. So Ben said that Charlo said there would be fun and answers, but that would be dependent on the something. And at that point in time, that date would have been seriously a good time if the something happened, but the something didn't happen. So the date came and went, and that's how it will be. The days will pass, and the possibilities of something happening will come about, and they will be genuine attempts at a resolution. But those days will always come and go until something happens. And I believe Forrest was honest when he said something ends the chase, and that he couldn't end it if he wanted to, because of what was set in motion and the something happening. So the dates will come and go. Trust me, we've seen lots of dates. And we've seen, the John Collins Black date. And like I say, the poem says that Forrest is John Collins Black, and he wrote a new treasure hunting book titled. And then, if you read the poem, you'll be able to make up your own answers. But it could, involve Trusted or Troy or me or Marge, or Margot or Dan, or just go to blazes. So do you feel the same as I do, Luli? Does that track come in? Yeah, Davey's praying for these as well. I won't fade away. Forrest will not rise from the dead. I could take that two ways. Me wearing the bracelet is your best revenge is a significant statement. But it depends who the me is. Not fade away, yeah. All that's left is crazy people who think they found the chair. Some people like the cows trying to make money off Forest Swallow too. Oh, a bit harsh, but possibly true, Luli. There's been a lot of talk about cows just lately. I have to wonder. I just finished. I don't mean caper on cow. I mean cows. I just finished listening to an old interview for us. Yeah, I remember that. Hooskadoo. Yeah, I can still see that now. Actually, in my head, that video, and it's Forrest did say, they love that sort of thing. Send your story to the Library of Congress, although they wouldn't love it if I sent mine in because I'm not an American. Do you feel like I do? Harsh day. Why is it harsh day, Luli? Yeah, that's a strange. When you consider this is early in the chase, and he's having an interview with Lorraine Mills. Obviously, there's a reason why that was done. But for her to say who is the real Forrest Fenn, and Forrest to say, I hope nobody ever finds out, is an important statement in the chase. And for those people who believe that Forrest is in any way nefarious and has any shady dealings, I have no idea what goes through their head. If it's found out that Forrest is in any way underhand, then if you're the solver, you prove that Forrest is underhanded and nefarious and has ill-gotten gains, you're getting nothing, because you've just proved that everything that he's got is illegal and it'll all be taken away. So you won't get nothing either. So even if you're correct, it's the wrong solve to try and do. There is no point in trying to prove that Forrest is DB Cooper or the Omega Man or the Burning Man or anything else. There is no point in it. Absolutely no point in trying to prove that. Because you're basically taking the money and everything that Forrest had and giving it to the government. So you ain't getting nothing. So that, to me, just seems like a totally negative and pointless thing to do. And I did it myself. I looked at the Omega Man and DB Cooper and all those things and then threw them out. But it begs belief that people want to prove that Forrest, did something underhand and the money that he got is illegal and that it will be taken away from him, his family, everything. And they won't get nothing either. Just absolutely doesn't. I sometimes wonder what goes through people's heads. Thank you, Lily. I don't believe that Forrest did anything shady at all. I think he was open and honest about everything in the chase and warned people of the dangers of not listening and deciding that they knew better. I feel, without actually telling people what the answer is, he gave out lots of information and tried to warn people that it wasn't going to be, well, it was going to be fun if you knew about it, but not fun if you didn't. Hence the chaos and the embroidery. Yeah, I think it will end, in the sense that you will find out, Forrest is not a liar, and he said to Dale, that you will know, just not now, in that interview or whatever it was, that discussion that they had. So I think that people will know, but you can only know when it ends. I say ends, but I don't think it will be the end. I think it'll be, you reach one destination, there's another destination to go to, but you will have the answers, which is what he said to Dale. So I think we will find out something. Happy radio. Oh, there's a radio station in the anagram solve. Just made me think of that. I think on my tax is gift. Yeah, I don't have that issue here, so I can't keep up with chat and my internet isn't playing off. We're all different folks just enjoying. Yeah, I think Forrest did it to have fun. And he said, don't let it consume you, or, already was an obsession of one person. And I think K-Pro alluded to the fact that it might have been Jack, but I think Forrest was talking about himself. It already consumed him. There was a lot he had to do, and there wasn't. I don't know how he did it. I really don't know how he did it. To come up with it, to put it all together, to not tell anyone. It's so after 2020, when Forrest said, the think nice thoughts statement, and drain the pond, and alluding to the fact that it was going to get shitty, think nice thoughts. It was a really happy place to be, people chatting and talking. Then it got a bit iffy because I think people firstly didn't trust Forrest as much as they pretended to when they were all searching. So they didn't trust Forrest to do or be doing the right thing in these 4 years that we've had. But for me, nothing changed. Forrest still gave out information to help people. Just nobody wanted to. If nothing is as it seems, everybody wanted to believe that it was, and that's crazy. So the information they were getting about Jack, about the chase, they were taking it all in as though that's exactly what it was. And it's like, what are you doing? This is just, whilst it was part of the chaos, it was meant to be a part of the chase. And the chase itself, the not project, it is just a chase, but the chase was not, it was not our chase. Our chase was supposed to be trying to solve the poem, not find the chest. And our chase was supposed to be solving the 9 clues precisely. No, following the 9 clues precisely. Now, if you manage to finish the chase before Forrest by not following the 9 clues, how is that possible? How can you, if you're supposed to be following Forrest, how can you finish before Forrest? That's impossible. If you finished the chase before Forrest finished his, that means you weren't in his chase. You couldn't have been, because you finished following the 9 clues, your 9 clues, before he's done his. So how can you finish a race when you're behind the pace setter? That just doesn't make sense to me. You beat the pace setter, so you already went off running. You finished your race, and the pace setter is still running. So I don't know how to. That doesn't sound right, but what I'm trying to say is, how can you finish the race before the person? A relay race is the best way to do it. Sorry, the relay race. How can you finish the race before you had the baton given to you? That's impossible. ASS equals can I leave? I did meet some really great. And I think the same about you, Luli. There are some people that are just awkward. They're just awkward. There's no other way to say it. They're just awkward, and they get through life being awkward. That's how they are. They want to be awkward, and that's how they enjoy life. Normally that doesn't faze me, but when it's taken to the stream, it just gets a bit crazy. I just don't see any need for it. NLC Carl Stooves LinkedIn page, recent profile background pic. No. Whoever Carl Stoof is, LinkedIn page, profile background pic. Tips hat too early. If I had one on. Yeah. We are bonded together from the chase. No one but us can understand our human experience. It's unique for us. And us alone. Almost looks like United States alone. Yeah, there are a lot of people out there who have like touched the chase and don't want nothing to do with it because, you know, they think it's done and dusted and boring and not interested. But, you know, for others, I wouldn't say it's an obsession, but it's like somebody put out a riddle in front of you and you just want to know what the answer is now. Maybe no shortcuts, but there is a back door. There is a back door. Absolutely, there is a back door. And I believe there are shortcuts. I believe if you follow the 9 clues, there is a shortcut to the back door, which takes you to the wood. From the lion's head, not the lion's mouth. Or unlock side window. I'm not going to lie. I believed we were going to find a chest, but I wonder how many thought the same. My initial thoughts were, well, there was no thought. I was just greedy. I wanted to finish work. I read the poem, said, yeah, I know where that is, and went to get it because, you know, I was a selfish person who wanted to be rich, I suppose. So, yeah, I believed it was about a chest because that's what it said. And I hardly listened to anything that Forrest said at that point in time. And I was saying to David, you know, I thought it was Casper Mountain because of the insignia that Casper Mountain looks like when you look at it from Google Earth. And I sent Forrest an email saying that I thought it was there because of that. But in the email, I said something like, you know, there's no reason why it should be at Casper other than that. And I didn't even know that they did go to Casper. You know, they did go to that part of America. So, you know, I felt really stupid when I realised that because I'd never read the book and I didn't know that, you know, The Long Journey Home or whatever. Can't remember what it's called now. I didn't know that existed. So I didn't know that he was on that road, the Natrona County. I didn't know that it was in that part. And that brings out a whole load of different solves, that does. The fact, I mean, Forrest gave lots of statements, and the fact was that he talked about chest, and you know, we talk about, me and Dave, we talk about it, that, you know, I hid a chest in the Rocky Mountains doesn't mean I hid treasure in the Rocky Mountains, or could not mean that. It could just mean I hid a chest, an empty chest. If you find an empty chest in the Rocky Mountains, you can have it, because he said I hid the chest and then I hid the treasure. He didn't say he hid them together. So once you really look or listen to what Forrest said, you start seeing what ifs. You start seeing possibilities. You start seeing, well, actually, he could have meant this, and he could have meant this, and this is why this doesn't make sense, and this is why this contradicts itself. And, you know, those statements that Forrest makes, you know, should make you think. But most importantly, if you were looking for a chest, then you totally ignore the fact that Forrest said, I crafted that poem. They seem like simple words, but I crafted that poem, which means it isn't them words that you read. It can't be. as I said before, that's no different than the words that tell you it's fire hole or 9 mile hole or anything else that's wrote in the book. It can't be the words beginning where warm waters halt. That can't be what you're supposed to be reading. It can't be, because that's telling you where it is, and he's not telling you where it is. So the only way he could hide it was in the words that he used in the poem, and that's why I looked them up, to give you different words. He's telling you where it is, but not with the words that you read in front of you. So you don't need all the words, but it's risky to ignore any of them. So if you only use the words beginning where warm waters halt to take the chest and go in peace, you're obviously not doing it right, because you don't need all of them, but it's risky to ignore any of them. Means there are some words in there that you have to use. And he's not talking about, beginning where warm waters halt to take the chest and go in peace. He's talking about there are other words in there that you need to have to help you find the treasure. And he would make, stipulations differently as regards the chest and the treasure and those sort of things. So if you just believed there was a chest and that was all this was about, then, more for you, you didn't listen. And I was the same, I thought it was a chest at first. See you, Sue. Sue. Sue Lee, I was going to say. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, pick up some sweets for me. Take care, Luli. Thanks for coming in. I found out real quick. Forrest fooled us all with his... Yeah, I think that was the important thing, wasn't it, Redneck? I think if Forrest was speaking in French, then everybody would try to learn French to understand him. But because he was speaking in English, American English, whatever you want to call it, nobody bothered to try and work out what it was. They just thought it was Fenn speak. But I was trying to find out, well, what is this language? What is this language that Fenn is, I don't like calling him Fenn. Forrest is speaking. Forrest went in the back door. I didn't know. Well, I don't know if Forrest went in the back door, whether he just left the back door open for someone else. I never wanted a chest. Yeah, like I say, I wasn't bothered about chest or not. I was just bothered about, diamonds, jewels, sapphires, rubies, emeralds. But, I was bothered about the pirate booty, the bounty that it was. And like I say, when I got there, I just felt so stupid. It's like, you idiot, this isn't what this is about. This is not what this is about. And if you listen to Forrest, it's not about, it's not about that. It's not about the rubies and emeralds and everything. And that it wasn't about whether it was a Book of Days, a medieval chest. What mattered was he was trying to do something. To do something. If you don't want a chest, go for the little fishy. Hey, Sophia, how you doing? Yeah, I think Forrest knew that everybody would be, as I said before, or most people have said, the chest was just a lure. Forrest knew that people would get involved because of this, chest, the gold, everything that was in the chest, everything that chest entailed, what was supposed to be in the chest. It wasn't the chest that people were going for. It was what was in the chest. That's what people were going for. And Forrest knew that would be the shiny thing that everyone would gravitate towards and focus on, and not really try to follow the 9 clues and solve the poem correctly and understand, the chase and what it is and what he was going to make happen. I think people underestimate the importance of page 15. That absolutely tells people that this is not about us finding a chest and making this happen. This is something that Forrest is doing, and he's going to make happen. So anybody thinking that they found a chest and that ends the chase, I'm sorry. Page 15 tells you no. You know, if it was about putting a chest out there for somebody to find, Forrest doesn't need page 15 at all. Absolutely not. And I suggest people read it and take it in. I'm a vegetarian. And to be honest, it was a wonderful collision. Dies. It is too bad that so many reject it. It does. Yeah. Silky on the outside, creamy in the center, Zozo. I love peanut butter cup. Yeah, I think, on the, I never know what it is. Title page, I suppose. Screenshot, not screenshot. Anyway, the bit that comes with this video. Saying if life gives you lemons, and there's the obvious answer is make lemonade, but there are so many things, so many things that you can do. And with everybody being differently, there's always something that you can do, no matter how bad things get. So, if life gives you lemons, make lemon cupcakes or grow an orchard of lemons and make air fresheners and cleaners and, all of those things that lemons get associated with. Maybe lemonade isn't your bag, but doing one of the other things might be. As bad as life gets, there has to be, I know this sounds, but there's always a negative and a positive. And if you let the negative rule, then you're stuffed. Absolutely stuffed. So you have to look for the positive. As bad as it is, as negative as it is. Otherwise, going to be a whole load of hurt. Who's ready for the solar eclipses? Born ready for the solar eclipses. And that's who said INFJ, the time thing. Had a time and then it came and went. There are times like that in the poem that come and go with regard to, and these are the informations that Forrest put in the poem. Absolutely unreal, but absolutely true. Moon phases and solar eclipses and, a green comet that comes through that hadn't been seen, since Neanderthals. It's like, come on, that, no, you can't put all that information in there, but it's in there. And I don't know how, I want to believe that you can make any information out of any text, but I know you can't. I want to believe that. I want to believe that it's possible to just take a piece of script and then find all this information in there. I want to believe that. But you can't, which means, I don't know, the higher hand statement. I don't know. Just the information that I've shown people, or that we've shown people, me and David B, is a drop in the ocean to what's in this poem. I kid you not. There is information in this poem. I don't know. I absolutely don't know how. It's an impossibility. Forrest said it was difficult but not impossible, but I don't know. I see it, I read it, I don't believe it. But then it proves itself and you think, oh, cripes. One solar, one lunar. Yeah. And a few of those events that have happened recently have been like rare events, not common events. I don't know what all that was, but in order to reject it, and Rob G thinks it's crazy. I don't know what's crazy, apart from that singer. Depending on what part of the world you're in as well. So I don't know. I don't know whether my mind is just, not on the same earth as everybody else, but I just don't believe that the moon is just the right size to fit the sun, just accidentally. It's just, and yet it's supposed to be so big, and then when you have the eclipse, it doesn't cover the whole earth. It's like, well, if it's that big, it should be bigger than 70 miles worth of shadow that covers the earth when there's an eclipse. So the whole one side of the earth should get the eclipse. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand how if we travel around the sun, it gets winter and summer. Like how far? It's obviously not a total circle. You must be further away at one point, closer at another. But then when the Earth's turning, I don't know. It's just crazy. I just wonder. This, it just doesn't seem coincidence that all of these things happen. They all seem planned. It seems, I don't know. It's just crazy. Hey, and in response to your happy hello, I see your happy hello and raise you a jovial jollification, Richard. Happy Wednesday. A little bit late. I think we're on Thursday now. I am. It's good to read you, Richard. Yep. The ship that hit that bridge to there was a bridge collapse, wasn't there? Is that the same one? 2 people found in the lorry. Hey Kiwi, how you doing? You just wait and see. Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be hollow. I just don't know. I just find it all. It's just strange. The fact that I don't know. The information you get, it's just so the moon has no gravity, not much gravity, that holds, somebody on the moon without, being able to float and do all those sort of things. And yet it's got enough pull on the earth to move the tides as it goes round. To me, that suggests that's a lot of gravity to do that. So I don't know. It's just weird how we're told all these things. Whilst they make sense, they don't. And it's just crazy. Yeah, Davey passed on the happy hello. And I was trying to think of a jovial jollification, which is pretty much, a happy hello with 2 letters starting different words. 1 letter starting 2 words. When the moon hits your eye like a David Paisano. How you doing, David? That is amore. Bad internet here. Patchy at best. Like a triangle. Ooh, triangle. Let's float on. Hey, Nomadic. Oh, he knows FF is in the building. How you doing, Nomadic? I don't understand how that ship did not steer away from the pillar. Well, it'll all be down to the Capitan. There will be an investigation for that. Crazy stuff. They all float. They lost control of steering. There's no way the Earth, with all of its intricacies, can be by mere chance. Yeah, the whole universe is designed to perfection. You know, the God numbers, the everything in nature has to be created. And I'm not going to get into a religious thing, but it doesn't matter whether you call him God, but there is a creator. And people say, well, it started with nothing, there was a big bang. Well, even that, you can't get nothing out of nothing. So who created the Big Bang? Who put the something into the nothing? And there was a YouTube video, I haven't watched it yet, which has like a black image, and then it looks like a fish with an arrow pointing saying God. Haven't watched it yet, but it looks like a fish. It's just like a triangle, white triangle, and then you can almost see the eye. And it's weird. It's weird, and it says God, and it's like, well, something created all of this. Had to. If there was nothing, if in the beginning there was nothing, you can't get a big bang out of nothing, or you can't get anything out of nothing. Even if there was a big bang, if there was, that had to be created by something. Something came along from somewhere into the nothing and created something. So it just seems like this is all. And again, I go to the time. If you go far enough into the future, the human race, if you can imagine it, it can be done. So if you go far enough into the future, everything that we imagine now will be being done. So who's to say that, in the future we didn't create, what we are now? However we did that. No power, no hydraulics. Yeah, something could have happened like that. Fish out of water. Should be. It wasn't a big bang. Earth is traveling in a black hole. It's the big. As much as I'd like to believe that, there's hundreds of galaxies, lots of black holes, all sorts of things going on out there. And then where does it end? And there's supposed to be an end to it. Voyager is at the end of one part of it. There's supposed to be an end, and then there's a beginning, and then there's an end, and then there's a beginning. How does it start and finish? Pretty much sums up America. Yeah, I was talking to my sister today. She lives in Oklahoma. She's not impressed with some of the stuff going on in America, to be fair, which, is understandable. Good to read you anyway, Trusted. What did the bridge say to the boat when it hit the pillar? Time for sleep. Oh, wrong pillar. Going to southern Utah this spring. Page, Utah. Few days. Jet skis like that. Well, you're not too far away from Luli. She's around that sort of part of the world, isn't she? Idaho, Utah area. Well, hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. A lot of dum-dums in Okie. Hey, can't call my sister a dum-dum. she was on about going out there to see her, and it's like, I think, I'd like to go out. I'd like to go out to America, but if I went to America, I'd want to, do lots of stuff. Just get the fat lady to sing. I was saying a few years back. Forrest did make mention of that, Sophia. There's a few things that Forrest said that need to take place, but I think an important statement was it will be announced on CNN and KPRO's channel, and those things haven't happened yet. So, but yeah, something to do with an aria, not an Oreo, an aria. The little girl sounds like Heidi, or The Sound of Music. How many licks? I'm not sure what that was for. Not sure at all. So yeah, this was about when life gives you lemons, because Forrest said he's had a few lemons in his time, and most people, I say most people, there are people in the chase who believe that this is a shit show or a bad thing, and that they're not prepared to see the positive out of the negative that they've created. I don't think Forrest created negative. I think Forrest warned us about a negative, and it was up to us to work around it, because Forrest was going to make it happen. But I don't think anybody tried to work around it. How do you solve a problem like Maria? Get a West Side Story, I think. How do you solve a problem like Maria? Yeah, go West Side Story. And they never go away. To me, that sounds like a never-ending lolly. Something that Willy Wonka might have made. Tootsie Pop. I don't think I've heard that name. I don't know, probably 30, 40 years. That word, do they still do that? A Tootsie Pop. Seems many, 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 many years ago. Not sure what you mean by that. How do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you do what you do to me? So, these people in chat now, all of you wonderful people, who still there are some more. Who still believes in Forrest? Who still believes that this is a good thing? The chase was and is a good thing. I'm not sure which song that is. I know the Memories Will Remember song. I haven't heard on the Ghost Dancer radio, but I think most of the stuff that involves Forrest has been good stuff. I'm still waiting for a Taylor Swift Forrest song. So if you're listening, Taylor, why haven't we had a Forrest song? I know we've had songs possibly alluding to the Forrest Fenn chase, but not a Forrest Fenn song. On the Sound of Music movie, woohoo! Dum 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 dee dum dee doo. Well done on FJ. I believe in Forrest. I know Davey believes in Forrest. Whoever the major Forrest Burke fan is, As that came horseshoe bend, missed it. Over here, over there, over there. Very German. I believe the devil deserves sympathy. Well, somebody believes the devil came down to Georgia. I heard a bell ring. Did an angel get his wings? Well, if you heard a bell ring, I hope Forrest heard it as well. That's a good movie as well. Those sort of movies, probably will resonate with, every generation. I know it's black and white and that, but I think when people watch it, I wonder if there'll come a time when they won't even bother playing black and white movies, or that they'll make all black and white movies colour. Tay has had her hands full lately. Tay has had her hands full lately. I don't know what you're trying to say there, David. Sophia, no way. If you dive into the metaphysical parts of Forrest and the Chase, then anything is possible to continue positive engagement with people. Like I say, I shake my head every time I think about the Chase and the Forrest Fenn book and poem and stuff like that. Just jumping Jack Flash. It's a gas. Oh, gas. That reminds me of topical news lately. Old Scratch was featured in the story The Devil and Tom Walker's Washington Irving novel. Taylor Swift is Conway as Tay. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, Tay. It doesn't sink in with me when people say Tay. I know who they're talking about, but so she's got her hands full, is she? Well, apparently she's supposed to have hurt her hand on stage, and that looked a bit weird, like a staged event for a poem, maybe. I think. Okay, that lost me. Yes, that was the double entendre. Thanks, David. Tay, what do you want? But I still think she should make a Forrest Fenn song, a legend song, one throughout the ages. Too far to Tom Walker. Oh, a Scooby snack. Yeah, I'll do it for a Scooby snack. God, that takes me back. Do they still have those? I don't think. Do kids still watch Saturday telly? I don't know anymore, but it used to be. I don't know. I think they just stuck on their phones and watch YouTube. Yep, Redneck watched it. Sammy Terry. It was so scary. Sammy Terry. Don't know what that is. But Redneck hit it, on the head. And then they tried to add Scrappy Doo too. But I can't imagine. I know they do it now. Kids just on the phone and just on the iPads, whatever they're called, and they don't. I don't know. They don't go out. They don't play like they used to. They don't have a regular weekend thing, after school thing. It's just constant stuck on Tinternet. I liked his spider friend, George. I said before, I don't understand this. People trying to imply that either Skippy or Forrest or somebody was DB Cooper or the Omega Man or whatever, or anybody else who was nefarious. Because if you're trying to prove that Forrest Fenn has ill-gotten gains, then you're not getting nothing anyway. So to prove that Forrest Fenn wasn't on the up and up and his money was gained illegally just means that you get nothing because it's all taken off Forrest and his family and everything, and nobody gets anything. So it's a crazy path to go down to try and prove that Forrest is or has done something illegal and gained his money illegally, because it just gets taken away. So you might have the accolade of saying that you found out who Forrest Fenn was, but then you get nothing else because you proved that he was someone nefarious. And that in itself says that Forrest wasn't any of those people. My ears are burning. Let me put down my phone and pay attention to this tablet. As long as you don't swallow it. David, the one, the same. It will take a workout. They meet two men from India named Juan and... There's going to be a joke here somewhere. They are twins. One, and one Himal. Pump it, pump it, pump it good. Oh, that sounds a definite song, that is. Mars, pump up the volume. I agree. With the pump it up? No, pump it good, not pump it up. Come on, David, I'm waiting for the rest of it. They are twins. God, that's terrible. Waiting for a joke to... Well, I'm assuming it's going to be a joke. It will not be a joke. Two men from India named Juan and... If you have seen Juan, you have seen... Oh. Okay, that wasn't worth it. I'm sorry, David. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Mum and son? Don't know what that means. When will Forrest rise from the ashes? Well, it's funny you should say that, because Lily said that was never going to happen. So, again, something ends the chase. So, I don't think Forrest would have made the statement, me wearing the bracelet is your best revenge, unless at some point that was going to happen. And Forrest knew that, which again, alludes to the fact that, what's this time travel or manifestation or however you want to talk about higher hand, however you want to talk about those things. The fact that Forrest made that statement, the statements that Forrest make are always, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, you can take them to be literal. There's a reason for them. He hasn't just said it as a throwaway statement. Those words mean something. And best is a good word to use. And, safe is a good word to use. And warm is a good word to use. And it may be in that context that they were used, but I believe that, Forrest is going to wear that bracelet. or who the real Forrest Fenn is going to wear the bracelet, whatever. How are your puppies? Hush puppies. Detachable. They are twins, and they're greens on the south side of sin. Is that Juan and Emma? When will we? Again, I said it earlier. This is how I tell. If something ends a chase, then to get fun and answers, you have to wait for the something. And whilst the something may be attainable, so believable that the something is going to happen, it might not happen. So waiting for someone for the Guinness Book of Records. So somebody's attempting to do something and there's a record to be broken. So there's a date set for this record to be broken and the person doesn't do it. It doesn't happen. So what would have been fun and answers? No, don't get any because it didn't happen. So then you'll set another date for the fun and answers and the record isn't broken. So until the record is broken, there are no fun and answers. So whilst there can be possible timelines for that record to be broken, it doesn't occur. So there seems to be a letdown and a belief that there are no fun and answers. But you can't have the fun and answers until the record's broken. Best way I can describe that. Zombie Forrest and Zombie Jesus walking. Oh dear. Jesus away with the spoon. There are many ways to be a twin. Moses and Superman enter the. Oh no. No. Not even going to go there. Moses and Superman. That seems to be a popular thing now to hide Easter eggs in films and stuff, and you don't have to look very far, but too far to walk. Moses said, Superman, would you like to go invade the land of Canaan? What the? Moses hands Superman 10 commands. I think all the information that was given in the chase has led everybody to their own downfall, I suppose. Because I think they believed it was easier to go down that path than actually listen to what Forrest said. If you start believing, I know they're going to take it the wrong way, but if you start believing it's all about Moses or all about Superman or all about, I don't know, whatever it is that people believe, then you lose track of what Forrest has said. This is an asterisk in a book that was not written. This is, I hope nobody ever finds out who the real Forrest Fenn is. This is more than just, if you just hid a chest in the Rocky Mountains, half the stuff that Forrest Fenn said is irrelevant. And if you didn't hear that or didn't know that, then I don't know what you were doing. If you hid a chest in the Rocky Mountains, but that people were supposed to find, the fact that you don't want anybody to know who the real Forrest Fenn is has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing. So therefore, there has to be something else. There has to be something behind that statement. You need to understand why Forrest Fenn said that. You don't need to be looking for a chest. You need to understand why Forrest said, I hope nobody ever finds out who the real Forrest Fenn is. Because that has absolutely nothing to do with hiding the chest in the Rocky Mountains. Nothing. And that was early in the chase. And people still believe that they were looking for a chest. And to me, that's, I don't know, that's just, when I came into the chase and first looked at the poem, I did what everybody else did. Thought about a chest, looked at the poem and said, right, these are the words that tell me where it is, and this is where it is. That was it. And off I went. And then you realise that you just a selfish, greedy little twat, and you go back with your tail between your legs and you try and work out what this was all about, what Forrest was actually saying, because it's not about a chest. And that poem doesn't just have 3 stanzas in it. It has 6. And Forrest crafted the poem and he felt like an architect. And when you look at it like that, you don't need to solve the poem in the sense of reading them words. You need to, what's the word I'm looking for? Deconstruct. If it was crafted and built, then you need to deconstruct it and work out how it was built. No different than, taking an engine apart and putting it back together. So you realise how it works. I have no idea how Forrest came about this poem. Or the book. The book has to write itself, otherwise I struggle. Flies down from them. Why is this getting religious now? Yeah, Kent and Easter. I always thought Esther had an H. Holding the 10 Commandments. They were too heavy. Puts them in a car park. So Forrest said there's only one way in that he knew of. And people have souls where you just you can get to it riding a push bike from anywhere. And I think, why would you do that? Why would you not take any notice that there's only one way in as far as he knows? Which means that reduces the amount of places that it can be. But I think if there's one important statement that Forrest made that said, I'm going to find this. It's nobody will stumble on that chest. Nobody will stumble upon that chest. What? That is such... Everything gets stumbled upon. Even now, thousands of years later, people stumble on stuff. And for Forrest to say that nobody will stumble on it means that's somewhere where nobody's going, ever. And it's not private property because somebody's still going to go on there. It's somewhere nobody is going to go. They're not going to go there for nobody to stumble on it. They're not going to go there, ever. So if you've got a chest that's just over there under that tree, no, it can't be. Can't remember who it was. Was it Bill? Barclay Pit? Who said about Barclay Pit? So far down. It's like, well, I can understand why that would be the case, but because nobody's going to stumble on it. But somebody's 200 feet from it and somebody 500, people mainly 500 feet. It's like that doesn't even fit the criteria that Forrest was talking about. So you have to try and work out all of the information in regard to the solve. So if you have a solve, then you have to put all that information into your solve and go, well, Forrest said this, and Forrest said this, and Forrest said this, and Forrest said this. And if all of that information does not discount your solve, then you must have a correct solve. Esther takes the 10 Commandments and hands them to Moses. Yeah, I know that David did a poll the other day, and I'm beside myself sometimes when people talk about stuff. He's so free. I saw that. So freely. Is that what I said? To what? Did Mary just say there was only one way in? Forrest said there was only one way in, as far as he knew. So yeah, I did say that. But Forrest said there was only one way in, as far as he knew. For which it stands. I've lost me. Oh yeah. So there's a poll, and some people have been rejected, some people have been voted in. But if I was on that poll, I would no. I would say there was not. If you have a solve that you believe truly is 100% the correct solve, there is no other solve that you can vote for. I would just say no. No, I can't vote somebody else's solve in, even if the criteria is forget your solve. If somebody has a solve, which solve do you think is the best one? It's like, no, I can't forget my solve because I think my solve is the correct. I just wouldn't be able to say, well, I think his solve is correct. Tricks of the rocks and breaks of We weren't listening. To what did you say? I can't hear you. Would you? Deloy and Rudy put the stick in the Go in the back door or back way. I can't remember now. I think he said back door. I say think, that's what I remember. Back door. Superman is correct, yeah. There's only one way in. But then you'd have to get the right phone box. You'd have to get the right phone box. Otherwise, there'd be lots of chests everywhere because there's lots of phone boxes. I think all the information that Forrest gave, most of the information that Forrest gave, is in the poem. So if you could find the information, then you knew what Forrest was saying. And that was part of, it's there to aid the finder, not the seeker. If you could follow in the footsteps, then, Forrest said, solve the first 2 clues, you're 50% there, metaphorically speaking. And I see these people with these solves and adamant that they've solved it. And it's like, well, you're not 50% there after your 2 clues. You're nowhere near 50% there. And it's not academic after the first 2 clues. And I just think, have you heard a single word? Have you listened to anything that Forrest said? The first 2 clues, you're 50% there, metaphorically speaking. And they give their solve. And I just think, what are you on about? Why don't you just listen to what you're saying and work out that you can't be 50% there after what you're just saying? You're not even 50% there after 4 clues. I don't know. I wonder. And it doesn't matter whether I'm correct or not. I'm trying to say, look, here's information. It doesn't matter whether I'm correct or not. But this information is saying, look, listen to what Forrest said. Put that against your solve and see if your solve stands up. And nobody wants to do that. They'd just rather say that, they found a chest. And I think, well, what's that got to do with solving the poem? I don't know. Or it could be a porta potty. Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. Woolly Bully. I like that song. I thought we were already covered. Willy Wonka's job. Yeah. Oh, what was I thinking about Taos the other day? Can't remember what it was. Could be a dumpster diver one way in. If there's only one way in, then there must be one way out. So, no. Forrest says as far as he knew. That in itself says something. As far as I know, there's only one way in. That would be like going into a tunnel or a cave or something like that. Unless you explore it fully, as far as you know, there's only one way in and one way out. Forrest said it wasn't in the cave or mine or whatever. But that's what the sort of statement implies. As far as I know, there's only one way in, which means Forrest hasn't explored it. There is a assumption that there's one way in and one way out, but it hasn't been explored. For a chest, I'm talking about. What's that? The code in the ode.com. The code in the ode.com. My solve involves lemons and a lemonade. My dream Lamborghini has a coded license plate. JKLMN proves there is a code in the ode. God, that sounds like either 5-leaf or the blue azure or something or other. My solve involves lemons and lemonade. Skip to Maloo, my darling. I can't listen. Old lawn dart injury. I don't want to talk about. Where is the P? The code in the O.com. The code in the O.com. Where is the P? Enter here. David Paisano. Only so many letters on a license plate. It is coded. If you know what that is, then you know the code. Play fair cipher. Yeah, definitely. Oh, it is Azure. I wish you lot would stop changing your names. It's good to read you anyway, Azure Turtle. I can't remember what all the names are now, to be fair. QRJ's are going the money. I haven't got any money to use. So when I was in 3rd grade, I really need to go to the bathroom. The teacher said, after we to just skip straight to P. I need a P, please, Bob. I accidentally did not say P. Then you'd never go. It's like you missed the letter. No, I didn't. Oh, too late. It's all on the floor. It would have been in the bathroom, miss, but you didn't let me go. Oh dear. What does I say? When people say, okay, I say, I thought it was AP. And they'd look at me like, what? Well, it doesn't go okay. It goes KLMNO. It goes AP. I never know whether to take David seriously now with the statements that he makes, because there's always a joke at the end of it. Well, the Lambo was yellow and has to go fast all the time, maybe in a hurry to get to the loo, my darling. They call me Mellow Yellow. I think you've been watching too many side videos with that. Yeah, it looks like a Lamborghini anyway. I'm probably wrong now. Probably prove my ignorance. Timeless jokes, gotta love them. It's like the Christmas alphabet. There's no L. Oh, Richard's retracting. So I only got one person answering that they still believe in Forrest, which was INFJ. That's not good. Not good. Do you have Dr. Pepper in a can? I didn't think it could fit in a can. It had to be a big can. Was he in the toilet having a pee as well? Did he use the iCat joke? I don't think I've heard that one. Let him out. Let him out. Well, you only need to let him out if he's had a pee. The code in the ode is amazing. The X is where a line goes in their double omega alphabet. Nobody would see the architecture Forrest speaks of. The code in the ode. The X is where a line goes in that double omega alphabet. I cut. I see UP. UPS. I see UP. I see UP. And how, in what context was that used? I know what you're saying, but how was it? Oh, gone. I was looking at Prince Albert, then it went. Davey, what you doing? You deleted Zozo. Darned internet, darned phone. I don't think he meant that, Zozo. I was trying to read Prince Albert. Don't know that one, but I know. Oh, you would like answers. I believe in Forrest. I'll let you know if that changes. It shouldn't change. If you believe in Forrest, it shouldn't change. Damn, sorry, Zozo. Yeah, I don't think he meant that. I don't think he meant that. Glenna does as well. That's more like it. My first foray, I suppose. My first involvement in doing videos was because people didn't. People were, saying bad things about Jay, saying bad things about Forrest. And I started doing the videos to try and say that, this is real. This is not fake. There's something more to this. And that hasn't changed, in the 4 years since we've done this. And I'm glad that there aren't as many loud voices now. Some of those people, trolls, I suppose, if you want to call them trolls, they don't seem to be about as much. That's probably because there aren't as many channels, but error, not a mistake. You can see the secret at the site. at the Azure Turtle site. I believe Forrest started something, but it turned into something else. See, I don't. I believe Forrest started something. People turned it or tried to turn it to something else, but the imaginings that Forrest had, I think they're still coming to fruition. I just think that people are focusing on the wrong stuff. I'll sell you some answers for 70. Hey, Ghost Answer. I didn't hear this tune that was about Forrest, so I missed out there apparently. Good to have you here anyway. I believe in true love. Utilising the acronym of Bob, Bottles or Bells, we can figure out the Heidi spot better. And marrying poems to maps, or marrying poems to maps. Marrying poems to maps. Yeah, I believe. I don't know how Forrest did this. I wish I did. I don't know. I hate thinking about the poem because every time I think about it, it's like, this is not possible. The stuff that I did in that poem, it's not possible to do. It's just to play a game of chess, to have a map, to do the word search, to do the anagrams, to find the different information, to have all those different variables and still make it work is crazy. Just, it's not just about having a map. It's about, I don't know how he did it. Just, man, it does my head in. Does my head in. If I don't believe it's possible, and I'll do it. So, I look at it, I see the map, and I don't believe it's possible, and yet, I can see it. To be able to see that without, to come up with that idea and do it, I don't know. To put all that information in the poem, I don't know. To come up with an idea, mix that together with a treasure hunt and a book and a poem, and I don't know. I just don't know how. Wow. Stood for Bureau of Land Management now. Yes, it does mean something else now. Good to see. You can see trusted. Wow. Pulse up maps to the right. Forrest talked about a pawn shop, as in, where you exchange stuff. See, I hate that statement, Black Lives Matter. You don't need to single out the fact, that in itself is just racist, because every life matters. Pink, white, yellow, brown, black, whatever. To make that statement, Black Lives Matter, that in itself is a racist statement, which goes against what it's supposed to be about. I'm so far beyond this, people saying they're politically correct and not being politically correct. Crazy. Hey, Lulu, back from the shop. Did you get me some sweets? Woo woo. Yeah, I try to learn something every day. In my opinion, Black Lives Matter stole. Forrest used a picture of Peggy sitting in his car and only her head was above the door. Is to the double omega people forget that far to planes. Planes? Like the Plains Indians? 3 times. A lady. 3 times a lady. The last 3 roommates. Hi, Dylan. Um, no, I don't know what that one was. Oh no. Trusted, no. What are you doing to me? No. I just, God, no. The thong song. Fancy giving people that image. Yeah, good map. Absolutely good map. I know. That's bad, that is. Got my sister some swag. Yeah, I think that's why he did it, so none of us can see that. God. Oh man, nightmares. Tell that to the people behind the LBGG. Yeah, just crazy stuff, David. I'm so almost at the point of like speaking out, you know, and grabbing every politician and shaking them by the scruff of the neck and saying, what are you people doing? How are you getting behind the crazy stuff that's going on at the moment? I think he is trying to give us nightmares. I bet he's laughing his head off now. It's like, oh no, 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 no. Trusted, you have to stop now. Otherwise, I'm thinking, people are going to be. Oh, God, no. 3 missing men that flew with. Well, he did say, didn't he? He did say that he lost roommates. So I understand what you're saying, Dillard. He did say that. And he did mention them as roommates. Which is why when Frank says about, Forrest wasn't this person who didn't do this, that, and the other, you don't make a statement about missing roommates if if it didn't happen. It's just you're not doing it just to get props, are you? Hey, Woody Bog, sorry, hi. You dropped in, are you parachuted in? I hope it wasn't a halo drop. I still have patches of deep snow, but yes, melting. It's kind of cool this week. Oh, don't talk about snow, but they're threatening us with it. We're coming into spring. I want it to be sunny and warm, not winter and cold. F went down 3 times and never a word of his co-pilots. Co-pilots? I thought a jet only had one person, so you're saying he was in a different sort of plane? Or you're saying the people that flew other planes? Well, I think the people in the chase didn't mention them, but Forrest has mentioned the fact that he lost roommates. 2. Oh, wow! I didn't know that. I've seen I've seen some instances where there's 2, but more often than not, it was training. But I never knew there was 2 pilots on the plane. Oh, at least they didn't say get him off. Trusted. Hey, Robert, the other Robert, Mr. McQuaid. That definitely sounds like a sheriff or something like that. Mr. McQuaid, not McLeod. Howdy, everyone. I have been laying low because Mary's poem told me. It's not my poem. My reading of the poem told you to lay low. It's Forrest's poem. F-100 was a single-seat fight. Yeah, I thought the F-100 was a single-seater fighter plane, but it may be possible that Forrest, flew a different plane as well. Somebody's looking for Forrest. Goose. F-pitches is playing for the back seat. Howdy. Trusted you have been selected to play in my next video shoot, but you have to wear the red. Please don't show that ghost. If Trusted agrees, please do not show it, please. Or give people forewarning that, his co-pilot. I thought he was in his own plane. That's why he ended up dead. German suit. I remember him saying that. I thought it was a gravity suit. I thought he was saying because you're flying so high. See the assumptions that people make, eh? Oh, Luli's interested. Well, I don't mind. I don't mind if that's the case. Goes the answer. Oh, Trust is retired. Thank goodness for that. Phew. Thanks, Trusted. Oh dear. Please don't come out of retirement. Please don't. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. I think Forrest wanted a wingman. I think most people in this thrill of the chase that we've been through have tried to do this on their own because they feel that they have what it takes to do it. But I eventually, trying to see sense, I tried to do it whilst trying to help Forrest. I was trying to learn, how to navigate through it without losing sight of what Forrest was trying to do. I don't believe Forrest needs any help to do this, other than what he's already got planned. And this would happen without anybody finding a chest or anything. Forrest would make this happen. And I think people forget that, that Forrest is going to make it happen. I think, that's the important thing that people should realise. On page 15, Forrest says, I wonder if I can make it happen. So I think he wanted a wingman, someone that would, and he asked the question, who will follow in my footprints? But he doesn't need any help. That's a beanie suit already. Why another G suit? No, it didn't end well for Goose because of the decisions made by a wingman that left him. So, I think most of the people in the chase left Forrest. Absolutely do. I think they went their own way. They went for the glory. They didn't want Forrest to make it happen his way. They wanted to make it happen their way. and they left Forrest. That's how I see it. And at some point, some of them try to shoot him down when it didn't go their way. Just crazy. No more pastas in the pool. I had to fix the pool pump every time. That was private, Tim. You and Trusty should get together, David. Jesus and Forrest ghosting. I don't know how to take that. It's like the second coming of Christ. Barb just posted something about Doug Preston again. She is expecting a call. So, me and David were talking the other day about how Forrest suddenly aged, and then trying to work out the difference between how Douglas looked and how Douglas has aged. Guzman's call me. So I haven't really watched much. Most people are on too late anyway, so I don't stay up because I don't know they're going to be on. Maybe when you get a notice of someone going live, it should be more than 30 minutes because I'm already asleep by then. I think she's more likely to get a call from Doug's YouTube monetization. He briefed his recordings 4 times with 4 different stories. Dahl's real name is at the end of one of Preston's briefing. Yeah, like I said, the who's who in the zoo. The statement in that interview, just I can't get it out of my head that Forrest said, "Who knows about my secret treasure?" And everyone just says no. It's like nobody turns around and says, "Secret treasure? What secret treasure? What are you on about, Forrest?" Just I don't know. It just keeps going from my head. I'm always a minute late. Oh, it's Alice in Wonderland. I'm late for a very important date. Is Dahl's real name Adolf? No, it's Lads. Or Elds. I think there was a scrapbook where he talked about, diving with Skippy and that. Yeah, I have to admit, I was not a fan of Barbara's when it first came out. Her Brutal Truth and those sort of people were not saying very nice things or doing very nice things with regard to Forrest and the Chase, but I quite like Barbara. Adolf is not Getman. Mayday was probably what his wingman was calling out. Well, Forrest talked about Mayday. I mean, that was even a solve as well. Mayday, Colorado. God, crazy some of the things that I did. I'm afraid you get to be and you get to be a flurry. A McDonald's flurry. But no eating pastas in the pool, he says. Even if he sold it a day after the book release, we would still be here today. Truth is, the finder solver cannot say anything. It's part of the chase. Yeah, I believe wholeheartedly that that's the case. I think I've said before, the chase has at least till 2025 And I believe 2025 is a good piece of information where something was meant to be achieved. But that doesn't mean to say that it can't finish sooner because something has a chase. When she sued Forrest, yeah, like I say, I had information in the poem about the chase, but that the brutal truth information, the Barbara information, those were a surprise. I wasn't looking at that sort of stuff. So when they started saying bad things about Forrest, and I know Forrest doesn't need any help or any defense, but I felt like I had to say something and do something and try and prove that there's no bad things going on. But 4 years later, nobody still believes. Nobody still believes. So you can make a whole bunch of little zozos. Dairy Queen. Gemini, May 21, June 21. Switzerland is not German. That Adolf has answered. Switzerland is not German. That Adolf is claimed. Camp Hale in Colorado has answers. Hey Tony, how you doing? Ever consider the statement meaning? You did not have to go there, meaning you will not have to stumble upon it. It seems to me that you could be misinterpreting. Ever consider the statement meaning you did not have to go there? Nobody will ever stumble upon that chest. Ever consider the statement meaning you did not have to go there? You could do. I don't know. No, I've never considered that, but I just see the statement saying, if no one's going to stumble on that chest, meaning it's in a place where no one's going to stumble on it. I would try to not order a banana. First marriage ended in divorce. Second ended in death. I'm not tempting. Third. Yeah, me the same, Zozo. Me the same. I don't know if I'm going to tempt a third or not, but so far, the same. Dave Woodard is free. You don't have to know her, just be a friend. I think the hard part is people who think that it's finished. I don't think it's finished. I think plans were set in motion and information was given to explain the poem, explain the chase, explain what it was all about. And some people don't follow all that information and just see part of it. Even being told that words don't mean what you think they do and nothing is as it seems, they believe that words mean what they think they do and everything as it seems. So they're up in arms about what's happening in the chase when they shouldn't be, in my opinion. I want the song, Why Can't We Be Friends? Why can't we be friends? With benefits. Oh, right. There you go, David. I think Huska's making a pass at you. Fun fact, my birthday 7/26 and my son's birthday 6/6 are the birth and birthdays of Carl Young. Oh. I'm about 60 years behind schedule, so it's all good. Like I say, my opinions may not be worth anything, but my opinions are what I consider to be factual statements. And I'm not, I don't say anything to lead people astray. I don't say anything that I think, people should follow me and believe what I believe and do what I do. I just say, look, here's some information. Do with it what you want. F gave you the answers with how deep is the hole. Gas is the underground river that the History Channel is searching for now to the gold. I'm sure he said a cast was like a bluff. They call it a cast, we call it a bluff. On the day before, still no trusted. I do not get along with lies very well, and her level is extortion. I think you hit the wrong button there. Should have hit an I. Leo or Gemini? Leo. Cast as a sinkhole to a river table. Yeah, I'm not denying that. I'm saying it's what Forrest Fenn said. He was talking about, we call it a bluff. I'm sure he said cast was. How deep is the hole? How deep is a hole? 9 miles? Possibly. That will work. Keep that mindset and you won't get overexcited. Now, can you howl like a wolf? I'm pretty sure Ghost Dancer Radio can. How deep is a hole? Why would I? He also said, how long is a piece of string? Why do people focus on how deep is a hole? When you consider that it was mentioned that there was a piece of string or a line that, helped Forrest find the spot. that in itself is a crazy thing to say that, Forrest would need that. There you go. Let me hear your wolf call, Mr. Robert McQuaid. Interesting things that you're saying, Tony. Dillard. I really want to know the next. My solve is your way of reading the poem. It's just different. The letters do not need to touch each other's borders, but they are still there in the correct stanzas. Try it. You never know. I have tried it. That's what I'm saying to people. I've tried. I don't know how many things I've tried in that poem. And, Troy was saying, yeah, you've got to do this and you've got to do that. You haven't got to do anything. You've got to listen to what Forrest said in order to try and get a result. But I've done that poem every which way you can. And each way gives you information. Now, the way that I show you is not necessarily my solve, but it is credible, real information regarding the chase. So I said I wouldn't tell you a solve, and I'm not going to because Forrest said don't tell. Now, that could have been don't tell ever, 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 or that could be just don't tell until it finishes. That bit I'm unsure of because it does say don't tell the real ending. And people say, oh, you haven't told us nothing, you haven't told us nothing. I have. I've absolutely told you something. And with the information given, I think you can, find the information you need if you had the mettle and the resolve to do that. But the first thing you need to do is understand the words that Forrest used. If Forrest, the person who wrote this poem, looked up all the words in the dictionary, then maybe you should. Collins is a dictionary. And the word black is like a lightning bolt in the poem. There'll be no paddle. So from the L, the first L, going down, see the word lab, KC. They're officially at Pride. Oh, bunch of lions. I've got an idea. Let's come up with a comic book. Might have already been done. I'm comfortable around LEDs. LEDs. Oh, Leos. I thought it said a D. Are you warm then? Are you warm, Nikki? Because warm is comfortable. And best and safe. Okay, McQuaid, there is a dangerous mission. If you choose to accept it. Oh no, it's not going to explode in 30 seconds, is it? She will never stop. Physics says, yes, physics says the treasure chest is wet. Well, he said the chest is wet, didn't he? Cast is spring that has a rock or lid. If hidden, go down the canyon. I think that word physics is important in that statement. Did he say B physics? Oh, I can remember B in part of that statement. Can't remember why. I am a Pisces fish. My favourite page in TTOTC is page 1. Oh, yes, it's imperative that nobody shares my secret or something like that. I can't remember what he said now. That nobody shares in. Davey, what did you say on page 133? The Mission Impossible things. I'm Aquarius. It's the age of Aquarius. Here, kitty kitty. Lily, we are some of the most rare steak. No? This is how stupid that analogy is. If I did not tell, I could use my own soul as my own treasure hunt. Make money, that's only one. If it wasn't for his fans, I would have. Would he? Well, that would depend if you're talking about a chest or whether you're talking about a secret treasure. The solve to the poem is not finding a chest, in my opinion. That's not the solve to the poem. That's finding a chest. And everybody can find a chest. Anybody can find a chest. Everybody did find a chest, and everybody thinks they're the solver. So finding the chest is not the answer for anyone, in the sense that people are using it. Yeah. So is it page 133 where he says that, Davey? I'm sure it is. Yeah. It is vital that no one shares my knowledge of the treasure location. You know, and people saying I'm not. I'm not telling them, but that's the whole point. You weren't supposed to. So a cave is a horizontal hole, and the vertical hole is a cave. And how deep is that hole? And is there only one way in? Then, Granny, hello, Granny, how you doing? I do not think it would be possible to reuse TTOT tracking. Well, Forrest says no one will find it there. So that begs the question whether it could or it couldn't. No one will ever find it there. In cars actually backwards, your partner goes ahead because has to dive for the door to open. Ah, enter, friend. Pirate. Pirate? Is Pirate here? I haven't seen Pirate. Do. I'm not sure which one that is. I know Forrest talked about a dodo. Nope, it's the solution in the treasure hunt. Quit talking in circles. It makes you sound like an idiot. You are not if my 100% visual solution is wrong, I waistcoat. I wasted a perfect opportunity to exploit it. I don't know which bit, is the circles bit. But isn't that what Forrest said? Just because people don't understand what's being said doesn't mean it's incorrect. Forrest said, he was going in circles. Or it felt like he was going in circles. But sometimes, that's what you have to do. David, no, they could. David, sure they could. There are many locations that if the poem, except David's, it was never there ever, and the proof is that he's never been seen with it ever. Hi, Dave. If your, just my opinion, if your poem solution is finding a chest that is just over there, no, that is not the case, in my opinion. And if all it was finding a chest, half of the stuff that Forrest said would be irrelevant. There would be no need for it. Certainly page 15. If it was just about finding a chest, Forrest would not need to make it happen. I wonder if I can make it happen like it's supposed to be. you want a chest that you hid in the Rocky Mountains to be found? Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. Absolutely, it can happen. You just make it easy enough for someone to find it. So it was meant to be difficult, but not impossible. And it wasn't about a chest. Whilst that chest was there and could be found using the clues, using the words that Forrest used, that was not what the poem was about. And to the republic for which it stands. Uh-oh, what was it? Person that has it can't keep it quiet. $750 notes. Well, he did want to know if America was ever going to bomb China. Would this be the appropriate time to tell you that Kent and Esther were not in the ground? Not in the ground in 2010? A little bit late now. It'd have to be before 2010 though, wouldn't it? If you're writing, he said, I could have hid the treasure first, or could have wrote the poem, but it didn't matter. Something like that. So if you're writing a book where you're hiding the treasure, then it'd be, a good idea to have the location all set up and ready to go. But you have to factor in the fact that Ben was told in 2009 that there was a chest hidden or a treasure hidden. Believe that or believe it not, but I think it's quite possible that 2009 was the time. And again, the person that can't keep it quiet doesn't mean to say they're going to tell you where it is, just means to say that they're going to tell you something. I found the chest, putting them in the ground in 2000. You want to be like Josh Jordan, found Forrest on the floor and whatever. Never mind. You do you. The results will. I have no idea what you're talking about. See that I found it wasn't the chest, it was the sculpture. Okay. Who went here? Who here found the doctor? Me. Sounds like you're still worried about the gold. Me? Absolutely not. No. I haven't been worried about the gold for 4 years. Although there is a gold too. Just just blew. Dollar just blew up wood. Or is that Dylan just blew up wood again? Happy you are enjoying your chase then. Yeah. Fly fishing timing a date, and I think I need another Dr. Pepper. Some people shine in here. Ever consider the sculpture would be why they might not know where the place was so special? I mean, you didn't even notice. That's okay. Oh, I can aspire to that, can I? I don't think I can. Some people say the weirdest things. I'm not even American, so maybe say prime minister, but not president, just like Joe. You know, some people. I don't know. I have no idea. Two can keep a secret if one is dead. 2, 3 is not a primary system. I call him Mr. Fingers. Hey, no more Josh J. I never did find out what super comic character Woodard has given me. Did he give out characters? Oh dear. I'm in trouble then. I mean, so I look, when Josh Jordan does his videos, I look at them and I think, well, hang on a minute. Your persona, the way that you look, your age, it's like you did those videos, pre-recorded them, and then just put them out willy-nilly. I mean, some are relevant to what's going on at the actual time, but some are like, you put 6 videos out and you look different in all of them, and your hair looks different, your clothes are different, your age is different. You pre-recorded them. Why? How? He's taking a break. On this day 4th, Woody Bog, we call you the arborist. I am winding down on Fenn, just waiting for the nest fix. Oh. Is that a hint to Eagle's Nest or something? Hey, that guy! We are all crazy. We are all crazy. Yeah, Woody Bog is definitely Forrest Fenn, or possibly, synonym to Forrest Fenn. Meep meep. Roadrunner, New Mexico. Yeah, we're all crazy. You're right there. Woodard calls me a virus, even though he only searches bloggers who use my real name, which is something of a paradox to today's. Hey, I'm a searcher blogger. Well, not a searcher, but a blogger. I've got to get out of this country back to the US. For me. Good night, everybody. See you, Tony. This country. My character was a hole. And how deep was that character, Davey? I thought on Chase Chat that Woody Bog was FF. Your ability, you can sense the forest and its occupants and induce your will upon them to do your bidding for good and to destroy evil. I'll show you crazy, the infamous Harley Quinn. $17 a square inch. That flyby typo upscale the imaging that you must look quickly down to focus on. That book must be important for Forrest to keep handing it out to people and mentioning it. But 17 to the inch, that's pretty important. Are you ready? Well then, what a better group of people to hang out with. Yeah, we are definitely crazy. Thanks, Glenna. Appreciate you popping in. Be safe wherever it is that you're going, whatever you're doing. Good Friday tomorrow. Happy Easter all. Good Friday tomorrow. Happy Easter all. Yes. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to say these things anymore. Well, we'll say them, but you have to be wary that other people don't believe in Easter and things like that. Ready for what? Not really. I have so much on my plate. Ready for what? Not really. I have so much on my plate. Ah, dost thou want to share? Well, don't try and do everything all at once. That's the 17 maps you put together as a whole. That's crazy, that is. That poem being a map is, I don't know. I've already said, I don't know how Forrest did this. I just hate thinking about it. You're signing off, Husker. Oh, see you later, buddy. Take care. Cheers for popping in. Yeah, happy Easter to those people that believe in Easter and the resurrection and almost the amount of coins from birth to death of Jesus Christ. Depending if you believe in Jesus or not. I think it's from the death to the birth, 260 something days. Ready to be the comic book superhero Woodard never gave you. Yeah, I don't know. I might feel like if I haven't been given a comic book name, I might feel left out. You going as well, Richard? See you later, buddy. Take care. Thanks for dropping in. Would it be in bad taste to appear as the Fenn ghost on Good Friday? No, not at all. Might as well end it. Might as well end what? Sorry for the timeout, Zozo. My bad. Yeah. Thank you, Richard. So the people in the chase that have, I don't say that anybody has to listen to what I say or believe what I say, but when you interact with people, just to be courteous and pleasant, it doesn't hurt. But you can, disagree with everything that I say if you want. You will be known in biological cities. Great seeing you. Got to get dinner. Thanks, Lily. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot. It's 2:28, so 2:30 seems like a good time to. Not my 2:30, but 2:30. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate that. Davey, you got a spanner back. I gave it to you the last time you came. After you reminded me, of course. Super Mario. There is a Super Mario Solve actually, and there's a 64 Solve and all sorts of things. On the edge of 1,000 euros. Excuse me. Pole change north and south flight. I believe that. I believe that this global warming stuff is not why we're suffering what we're suffering. I think the Earth just goes through changes. The Earth dies screaming. I'll go see what the stars are telling me. Ah, I was timed out. Davy B, you busted. You killed Kenny. Oh, I love it. Love it. South Park. If Mario, is Davy B Luigi? Luigi. Then you must be the princess, Nikki. You must be Princess Peach. Thank you too, Luli. I do appreciate you. Pirate is here. Here he is, not Ben. He's pirate. Who is Erin Carter, Zozo? My comic book name is Rooster Cogburn. Ah, so you want to be a chicken hawk, eh? Love that cartoon. Or is that John Wayne you're talking about? So you want to be a chicken hawk? Might as well take over for Woodard as a superhero who will end it all. This is going to be epic, and Dave is going to have a meltdown. I think most people are going to have a meltdown. I'm still at the who's who in the zoo. How much do people know? Blah, blah, blah. But I cannot believe that one person did this. Absolutely have no idea the genius behind, you know, any one part of it, let alone the whole. Global warming is from all the microwave radiation, technology radiation, and moisture. Yeah, but the way I see it, history has proof that there's been ice ages and stuff, and that happened way before technology. So if the Earth could go through those changes without technology, I don't think technology is going to affect it that much. Thanks, INFJ. Yeah, part of it is my own well-being for coming live, because people like you, take my mind from the situation that I'm in and help me evaluate, my life, where I am and what I'm looking forward to or trying to aspire to do. But some of it is just I was going to do it anyway. This was my life before, and it shouldn't stop. So there were lots of reasons why I come online. Another one is to not shy away. I went for a curry the other day with people I used to work with, and I thought it was going to be horrible, but it was brilliant. Um, I'm coping now. Is another sun? Every new satellite put in space is another sun. Well, I know the Chinese put one up, which makes you wonder why. There are 9 different Jesus mentioned, most part of the second coming for the disruption of the Jerusalem temple. Yeah, people, my sister was talking about, come on, Jesus, hurry up and come back, because, the world's going crazy. I don't know if they're going to be happy if Jesus does come back. There's only a few that are going to be saved. Oh, now you're worrying me, Dillard. Well, I don't know. The plate's dry and that heats. Is just the hack? He got something wrong. Thanks for the show time. Cheers, David. I appreciate your shows. It's just, you know, you have a crazy time schedule. you go on when I'm asleep. Thank you, Nikki. True, Rudy. That's absolutely true. And it never gets hot. Zozo secret. Well, come on as often as you want. You and David are enlightening those that watch. Thank you, INFJ. Appreciate that. Didn't Rooster have a partner or companion dog? Adventures. Woody Boy. Who is that one that was the rooster with the? Wasn't he called Rooster Cogburn? I know John Wayne, I think, was Rooster Cogburn, but I'm sure there was a cartoon with the rooster and the. That would be Sam. Sam. Did you pay to get your tax changed? No, that top bang looks. She wants to pay to have a flight changed because she's going on a Boeing. Wile Coyote. No, there was a rooster, and like the little chick, and he was always making a fool of the rooster. The one I remember most is because, so you want to be a chicken hawk, eh? Jesus came back in first century. Things are clueless. Nope, I went and survived. Thanks for remembering. Nice. I want to be the Roadrunner. Please, Dave, let me have the name. You will be the New Mexico one, the Roadrunner. Why not be a lark? Isn't that the Wyoming one? I believe in miracles. Now, I believe in Jesus, and Jesus believes in me, and you, and you, and you. Cheers, Ghost Dancer. Yeah. You have to foghorn leghorn. Foghorn leghorn. That's who he was. I would eat a rooster too. Will you check next time prior to booking? Beep beep. Yep, that's the Roadrunner. Foghorn leghorn. Yeah. Nice kid, but dumb. Rooster chicken. Dog. Oh yeah, not a dog chewed. Dog-eared. Dog-eared. Dog chewed ear. Oh no, I can't remember what that was. So you want to be chicken hawk? Yeah. You just be safe, Forrest. Yep. In fact, everybody be safe. Clueless. Dude, that was why FF said the chest was wet. It was bronze and it feels wet. Yeah, just touch. Touch. Why does it feel cold? Do roosters taste like chicken? So thank you ever so much for being here and putting up what I have to say. But like I say at the beginning of it, I know Forrest said he was, had a lot of lemons, but if life gives you lemons, it doesn't just have to be lemonade. It could be anything that helps you, get past whatever situation that you're in. Thank you for being here. I would say you don't have to go home, but you have to get out of here. But you're already at home, so it doesn't matter. So thanks again. Take care, everybody. Ciao for now.